Alright, hello guys. Today I'm going to be telling the story of my failed 5th grade comic empire. The story of Derp Master Comix. Our story begins with a young me that was about age 9. I was in 4th grade when a video appears in my recommended feed on YouTube. It was a video called Laser Tag by The Odd Ones Out. This would prove to be an event that changed history as we know it. One day after the appearance of the laser tag video, I was in a deep addiction to The Odd Ones Out, watching many of his videos. Then came the thought. James used to make comics. I wanted to do that. I also wanted to make YouTube videos. But I didn't, but we'll get into that later. So I started what would eventually become Derp Master Comix with an X. At first, I had a simple style. It looked like this, as you can see on the screen. Very simple, and it's very similar to The Odd Ones Out style. That was not a coincidence. I have made comics before this one. They were more story-based comics called Life of a Sunflower. They were inspired by Plants vs. Zombies, and they were awful. I made a video, if you guys want to watch it. I made a few videos looking at my old comics. One of them was my old Plants vs. Zombies comics, if you want to watch that video and laugh with me. So I began making and showing these pretty awful comics alongside the Plants vs. Zombies comics to my 4th grade class to very little response. But I did get a small group of like 3 people who liked my comics, which I appreciated. One of these people was my friend Ryan, who made a huge impact on my comics. He helped with a few things. He also encouraged me to make more comics. It was also around this time when I started to make the big changes to Derp Master Comix. I changed the style to 2 dots and a line in the face because I felt it's more expressive and easier to draw, so I could draw it faster. And I made more recurring characters like the Baby and Superman. And most importantly, I made Derp Master Comix the official name of my comics around this time. And that name stuck for a long time. I made a few characters around this time, like I said, but the 2 most important characters around the time that I made was the Baby, who is a baby, who is a celebrity and is very tall and can speak perfect English. The other one was Superman with an O-U-P. Soup. It's Soup. He likes soup, is a superhero, and if you don't mention soup around him, he'll roundhouse kick you to the face. I also sold the rights to Life of a Sunflower to my friend Elijah for $2 that I owed him because I did not want to pay him back. I owed him the $2. So I was like, do you just want to buy the rights to my comic? So I wanted to focus on Derp Master Comix. So I sold the rights. So now my full focus was on Derp Master Comix. Because of my focus on it, Derp Master Comix started to get a bit more attention, but then tragedy struck at the end of 4th grade. My friend Ryan moved to another state. He was my co-leader. He was a brother. No, he wasn't. It was a true sacrifice, though. But that was the end of 4th grade. Now on to 5th grade. The year where stuff hits the fan. So after summer, I came back, guns blazing. I was ready to make more comics, and also I got glasses and looked taller. Because I grew. Growing's good for you. So I went into 5th grade, guns blazing. I start my company, hire a bunch of my friends, and make comics like a machine. I also looked at these comics in a video, too, if you want to watch that video. That one was more recent. These comics were starting to become more popular, so I made more, at the expense of quality, of course. But people still liked them, and I started to get more popular with my class. So throughout, like, October to December of 2018, people were liking my comics more and more, so I decided to hire more and more people, which included, like, almost everybody in the class, which made me a lot more popular. I was basically the Napoleon of 5th grade. I had my big empire, and I had all the power I needed. If you can't tell, the power was getting to my head. And little known fact, I'm taller than Napoleon, if you were wondering. But there were problems. I was easily corruptible, and I had a ginormous ego. I was also a big nerd, so the comics were made with my sense of humor in mind, not other people's. And when it's not made with other people's humors in mind, people stop reading your comics. So that was an issue. So after December, something I was hoping would not happen happened. People stopped reading my comics, and were also making fun of me, because apparently Derp Master is dead, we decided. You didn't get to decide that, but whatever, so I was getting made fun of. Made me lose my spirits, but I made comics because I didn't care what they said, until I got in trouble for drawing in class, so I was like, alright, you know what, I'll end Derp Master Comix to focus on school. But people were very upset to that response, so I opened it back up again, and people were very upset. They were like, the Derp Master's trash, you can't, nobody reads the comics anymore, you're not funny. So I closed them again. You can't do that, we have so many happy memories, you can't do that, you want to play Fortnite later? Ah, my god, we're sad. So since people were so weird about their feelings towards Derp Master, I kept my position as the Napoleon of Derp Master. But I did kind of stop drawing as a whole. After so many people were making fun of me, I kind of just decided to give up with Derp Master. And without really announcing it, I ended Derp Master. And I decided to focus more on my other story comics, which those I also did on the side. I'll explain the story in a future video if you guys want to see that. So, back from summer, I came out a completely different person. I was obsessed with Star Wars, and when I say obsessed, I mean it. Oh my god. I was liking Star Wars a little too much, but at the same time, I did start getting back into making comics, which I think is a good thing. Got me drawing more, which I appreciate. And this was like January of 2020, which I think you can see where this is going. I revived Derp Master Comix, and people liked my comics again. People weren't being jerks about it, which I appreciated. I made new series too, that's what I was more focused on. Like, I made The Baby Show. It was about my character, The Baby, being a washed-up, drunk celebrity who hosted a talk show. And I think it was my best comic series for a while, because people loved it. For some reason, it was really bad. I don't know why people liked it, but people liked it. That was the important thing. Then, when I was making Season 3 of The Baby Show, the coronavirus hit. So, I stopped making comics. I kept drawing, but without people to show the comics to. Kinda just lost interest in making them. So, I stopped drawing my comics. I still made my story comics off to the side, which again, I'll explain in a future video if you want. And I didn't really care about Derp Master Comix much anymore. But I did make my first video on this YouTube channel that summer, so that started around this time. And you may be asking, where is Derp Master Comix now? I still do make comics, not as consistently as I once did, but I still make them sometimes. Derp Master is no longer the name of my comics. I dropped the name They do not have a name yet. I don't think I will make them a name. I have a new style, which I think is more expressive. You can see I've used it throughout the whole video. And I think I've come a long way since 4th grade. I'm now in 8th grade. So 4 years of my life has been spent drawing comics, improving my style, getting made fun of. This happened, Star Wars nerd happened. And even though I don't really associate with Derp Master Comix anymore, I still do like looking back on this time. I did keep the name for my channel though, and I think that's gonna be staying. I might change it, but I think I'm gonna keep it as Derp Master. But I thought this was an interesting story to tell you guys. Not so much because it's funny, it's just because it's interesting, like I said. So, this was the story of my failed 5th grade comic empire. Thank you for watching the video. Alright, bye.